painted our cover, or not painted our cover, but stripped the cover fully down to aluminum and then put a clear coat on it. So yeah, that looks pretty nice. Now, as you can see, when I tore this engine apart, everything's sitting in these bags, ready to go. So, first things first, let's find the bolts for this. And let's get it torqued down. Let's pull this off. Put it out of the way. Alright, let's start dropping injectors, I believe. Alright, so we're gonna start stabbing the injectors first. Get you a little bit of oil. They can douse the injector with some oil, some clean oil. Get you out some doctor gloves. Now I'm pretty sure if something's wrong, someone will see this video and I guess I'll backtrack a little bit. You know what, actually, I see something I need to do before I go any further. I've got to clean this off. So let's go ahead and get the drill back on. Add a little bit of paint, get through it. Very gentle. Alright, when you put these in, you want to still make sure it's still got that little copper thing on the end. Let's take and put on some new gloves. And let's pretend like we know what we're doing, huh? Gotta love it after your hands get a little moist. Certainly the glove doesn't want to go on so easy. Alright, let's begin. So, once again, a little bit of oil on it. Now normally, if this was an old engine you were working on and you were putting a new injector in, you want to take and make sure you cleaned out the hole really good to get all the carbon buildup out, but this is brand new rebuilt, so you don't have to worry about that little extra step. This side needs to go towards the injector tube. Until she pushes down in and continue. Now this stuff, or this injectors, all these injectors, when I pulled them out, this was out of another engine. It only had 10,000 miles on it, on the injectors. So also when I stored it away, I put it in a little bit of transmission fluid to help keep the rings from drying out. And also, transmission fluid is also can be used as a little bit of a cleaner. So, as you know, a lot of people actually put red transmission fluid in their diesel fuel to to help clean the injectors, so I don't really see it hurting, but there might be someone out there who tells me different. Ooh, that one's got screws in it, so don't throw that one away. I tried to be very careful as I pulled everything apart. Everything's numbered. All your rocker arms, I've numbered them as they came out. Now, my head that came off this block, it was bad. I had to take and send them another engine that I've got outside. I had to take and pull the head off of that and send it to them. So I'm using all the rocker arms, injectors, and everything from that head. The other ones I put aside. Hopefully, you get a whole lot more life out of these injectors. I'm just spending enough money and don't want to spend any more. I know I'm not done spending money, but try to save what we can. And I'm pretty sure by putting the fast fuel system on here, that we'll get a whole lot more life out of these injectors. Oh, that's the last one. Drop her in. Clean your hands off. Okay, so now I believe let's stab the pickup tubes. As you can see, I took these and to make sure debris stays out, put a little bit of cling wrap around them. A friend of mine, Adrian Adams, he was always pretty adamant about cleanliness. I know there's some other guys out there that'll be smoking a cigarette over it, dropping ash, this and that. And yeah, I like it to be like a doctor's office. Alright. Let's see if we remember how these go. Alright. So, once again, throw the old towels, bring out the new towels, and I'm pretty sure after what we've all gone through, people seeing me go through so much, paper towels are probably cringing. A little extra step. See if you can see that. I might have to just do a little editing. It's called Parker Super Lube for O-ring lubrication. Now you got your little rings right there, so we're gonna take and lube those up as we put them in. The bad thing about having a dog, that the dog hair seems to find its way everywhere. Okay, so once again, right over this, oh. Alright. Take and work it around it a little bit. Now I was always taught most all your rubbers want to lubricate. Don't want to have it go in dry. Alright. So on these they've got a little arrow going up. And I believe that's supposed to go up. Okay. All right, on to the next one. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take and just concentrate on putting them in for a moment. The other engine had a whole lot better looking parts in it. That one I got a little lucky with. Saved me some money. Paid less for that engine than I did this engine. And I picked it up on my route to go get the other one. As far as I know, you don't put anything on these. No pipe dope or anything. I'll probably come back to these in a little bit and torque them down. Alright, moving on. Alright, so we've got all the push rods in. When you put those in, you want to be very careful to make sure that they're sitting in the correct area, so that you could damage some of your engine when you start it up. One last to go on it. Make sure you clean that tip really good. Throw a little lube on it. Lube her up. Drop her in. Alright. These are all these bags are just numbered, so we just work our way from the front to the back. Hopefully we remember how to do it. Alright, so I've got these in, and these are supposed to be torqued down to 37 foot-pounds. Alright, so those are in. Now these are just sitting in here for now. I'm waiting for a neighbor to come over and give me a little bit of knowledge. So, one by one, I'm gonna pull all these out and torque the injectors down, and I just had a few questions before I did it. We wanna make sure we do it correctly. So one thing you can do to plug these up until you put the pipes in the end, the fuel lines in, you can take your latex glove, cut the finger off, right up over just like that. Now they're protected from any filth getting in. All right, now it's time to prep the area for the water pump and go ahead and put the water pump on. I'm gonna grab my brand new Milwaukee that I ended up buying about a month ago. I was out on the road driving my truck, and my airbag went bad on me. And I don't know if you know what electrolysis is, but the electrolysis was so stout that it ended up breaking the airline fitting. And I happened to leave my rigid at home. I had a brand new airbag that my little brother brought out to me. And well, I met him en route of where I was going. And so I had a new airbag, planned on fixing it that night. And then I forgot my drill. So the very next day, after spending many hours that night trying to knock that fitting out that basically was welded inside of there, I gave in and spoiled myself and bought this Milwaukee so that I could drill that dang fitting out. I guess now I have the rigid for the semi truck and I got the Milwaukee for home. So let's get to it. I am becoming a lover of the Milwaukee. Take a little brake cleaner. Get it on the rag or paper towel. Wipe her down. A little more with a cleaner surface now that that is dirty, compromised. Wipe her down again. It's actually best to use the blue rags or blue paper towels because this seems to want to leave a little bit of the paper towel behind, but I don't have that. Looks like I should have bought some new gloves. I'm running low. Alright, well, she's cleaned and ready to go, so let's grab the yellow ring. Grab some Super Lube silicone base for your O-rings. Take and get this lubed up. Doesn't take a lot. Take and work it around the ring really good. I believe that helps keep your ring from drying out on you. Set her down. Place her inside. Now there's only one way this pump can go in there. So you can't really screw up that I know of. Wouldn't be the first time I was wrong. Alright. She's in. Snug her up. And center her in the hole. Alright. Take and torque her down to, I believe, 18 foot-pounds. So I like starting a little lower. Start off at 15 first. Just slowly snug her in, working back and forth from that one to that one. Don't try to do it all in one bite. Bring her up to 18, 15, 16, 17, 18, right there. Oop. You know what? I am gonna take back it off and add a little Loctite. These engines are just, they vibrate a lot. So we just don't want them backing out. I don't think my rigid impact would have pulled that off. Okay, back to what we were doing. There. And there. Alright, she's set. Now, since we're using diesel conversions for this build, we will go ahead and start doing some of the stuff that came with it and some of the notches that they want you to take out. If you take a look right here, this is what we're using, diesel conversions. It's a pretty handy little kit. There's a few little modifications that they could make to be a little bit better of a company. But so far, I am pretty pleased. So what we're gonna do right now is right here, we gotta take a notch out, and there we gotta take a notch out. So let's begin. Let's take and spin this engine around so you can see what we're doing. Okay, so what they're saying to do is this first top one, you take it off right there. Then the next one, we take from this point and we come on in just like that. Staying. So if you take a look at it, you can see where I made the mark right there. Made the mark right there, starting from this corner right here, coming over. And I believe what you want to do is this same distance right here is what you want to leave going over this way. So we take and bring her down right there. And same with this one. Come over that distance, about the distance of I believe maybe 1/4 of an inch, and bring her on down. And that's what we'll do. Make sure that you don't come too far in. Let's begin. Make sure you got your safety glasses on. Be very careful. Come on. Come on, Mac. Come on. Going inside. Alright, so I screwed up. Can't take it back, can't re-record it. So this notch was right there. I showed you, I took a marker along it, drew that to cut that off. This one was right here. I drew a little line showing you to take that off, and you can see right there, you want to leave probably just about a 1/4 of an inch, and a 1/4 of an inch right there. So this one you went from a 1/4 inch down to nothing right here. This one you went straight across, and I used my grinder, my DeWalt grinder with a carborundum blade, and we cut it off. Then I took this and beveled the edges a little bit, and then I took my sander and hit it up again so it's all smoothed up, and we'll slap a little paint on it. And if you look right down here, it comes really close to your oil pan. I'm not sure if I got to cut that off later. We'll wait until we do a test fit. So I made sure I left that. If I have to, I'll cut that little piece off. I don't know, it's pretty dang close to that screw to where I'd rather leave it on if I can. So that's that. We'll take and touch it up so it looks pretty again. Put a little primer on it. Let that dry and then put a little bit of blue paint on it. It'll look factory. Okay, so I did not finish the top. I just buttoned it up right now to keep the weather out of it, keep all dust and grime out of it. I just don't feel confident enough to wrap up the top end. I'm gonna wait until I get a friend over here that knows what he's doing. Just too much money in the top end to screw it up. So like I said, I just put the top on and we'll move on to other stuff. So right now, what we're gonna do is take and put the oil cooler on. Now some people might not do this little extra step, but makes you feel better knowing it's not gonna leak. So let's start off with this. Let's see. So it's gonna wanna go that way. So this goes on the inside. So we've got some silicone gasket LG6 Komatsu. I'm told this stuff will hold really good. And all you want to do is put a little thin layer on. Not too thick. I need to be getting it all over that. That's just been cleaned. Alright, there we go. Now if there is too much in one area, that's why we got the gloves on. I'm taking, thinning it out very nicely. It's kind of hard to put it pretty thin though. Only way you know if you did it wrong is to fill, and I guess I'm pretty used to the school of hard knocks. But it seems to be the best way to learn. Looks like I'm just making a mess. Some of you are like, yeah, he is. Maybe this is why a lot of people don't show this part of the video, because the criticism that they will get. I don't care. Well, that's a bummer. I just realized my memory card was full, and yeah, that's all we got. So I think what I noticed is you guys just saw me put those on. You didn't see me put this part on, and I've just slowly been working around diagonal this way with the bolts, and going up to 15 right now, and then I'll push it up to 18 here in a second. Sometimes you only get one chance to do it. Definitely ain't pulling it back apart to get that shot. Alright, let's bump her up to 18. It's not that much harder. I believe that's it. This one in the corner, I think I'm just gonna have to use another tool and just snug it up really tight. That one I'll have to get an extension. But for today, that's it. Alright, so now the next thing on the diesel conversion kit is the motor mounts. So let's go ahead and install those. You will want some Loctite, and what do we got here? 17 millimeter. So let's go ahead and get some Loctite on there. I guess we'll take and get them all Loctited first. Alright, she's ready to go. Let's set her up in place. Grab a bolt. Alright. Get her started. Grab another one. Get her started. Something to grab onto. Grab our cheater. Snug them up. And then these we will torque down to 44 foot-pounds. Got our adapter. Alright, she's torqued down. Let's continue on the other side. Okay, so now on this side we're going to have to do a little bit of fabrication. Let's see how it goes. As you can see, I've taken the time to clean this all up and put a clear coat over it. Remember, if the women don't find you sexy, at least they should find you handy. Alright, so I don't really see what they're talking about just yet. Maybe it's on this bottom area. So what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and bolt up this motor mount, and then we'll check the ECM for fitting, as it's already bolted in, because it's the ECM fitting or the ECM bracket that needs to be cut, and I believe it's right around here. So we'll get to that in a second. We'll just go ahead and get this all bolted up. Alright, if you can see, the top is fine, the bottom is touching it. I mean, if you wanted, I don't think you'd have to cut it, but you really don't want that metal rubbing on the other metal, I guess. So we'll just take and just take a little bit off right there. Get your safety glasses on, unplug it. Get your cutting wheel put on really quick. Tighten her down. Plug her back in. And let's begin. Unplug her. Put on our grinding wheel. Lock her down. Plug her back in. Attempt to bring her back to showroom quality. We'll start it off with some 60 grit. Now I guess if you want, you can take and put on some a mask, and I'm not worried about it. Now let's move down to something less aggressive. Some 120. just want it to look like no one ever cut it before. You want it to look factory. Now I'm just gonna jump right to what is this? Some 320. Probably call it good right there. You can see that you can't even tell that we did anything, and I'm guessing the reason that the only reason I can think that they want you to do that is because what I was talking about earlier, electrolysis, two opposing metals, and you'll get the electrolysis, and electrolysis, it's pretty impressive. It'll start pushing two opposing metals apart. What would work really good for this is if you had aluminum wire wheel. I don't know if you can see that on there, but that looks factory. Alright. Let's set her in there, huh? Just set it and forget it. Starting to make a habit of double checking if that dang GoPro is recording. I've already lost too much footage putting this together. Alright, let's restart our attitude. Like I said, we don't need this anything coming apart. Just slight little bit of Loctite. Some might just prefer putting a little anti-seize, which I'm a fan of anti-seize. We can take and push this little wire in between, so that's some good clearance right there. Now these I'm not exactly sure what to torque them down to, but a lot of the stuff on this engine seems to be 18 seems to be the number.